Doesn't play.
And welcome back. For those of you that are just joining us, we are live at the Windhoek Showgrounds for the 2023 NVF Bank Windhoek Cup. You are joined by Diana Master
and Tawana Mutapati on the other end of the mic.
We are going to be keeping you entertained, giving you updates as they happen. Now, earlier on, like right now, we are witnessing Namibia Correctional Service playing against NDF A, and it's bound to be a very interesting game. What did you say, Tana?
I would think these two teams are evenly matched. Taking a look at the two team sheets, I think they both have a good lineup, so this should be a very interesting match, I would say. We're in for a good match. I think Namibia Correctional Services have experience on their side. Of course, they've got more senior players or more junior players as compared to the defense players. So in terms of the outcome, I think Namibia Defense Forces might have the edge against Correctional Services in terms of experience, of course. So I think it's going to be quite the interesting game, I would say.
I mean, earlier on, we witnessed Afrocats versus Khomas It was a brilliant match, especially towards the end, but Khomas took that game, which booked them a space in the finals. So now the winner of this match will be taking on Khomas in the final. It was a very interesting game, kept us at the edge of our seats. So now we are excited to see who's going to come out on top. Is it going to be Namibia Correctional Service or is it going to be Namibian Defence Force? Who's your money on, Tana?
It's a tricky one, Diana, I would say, because like I said earlier, experience is one thing, but then with sports you obviously need a nice youthful side to sort of take care of things and to push the game further, but experience also counts for a lot as players have more knowledge of the game, tactically speaking and strategically speaking as well. But let's just hope these young guys run some good circles around the old guys.
Yeah, man. We're gonna see. Is it gonna be experience? We're looking forward to seeing it. I mean, Namibia Correctional Service, their team, like you said, Tawana, filled with young ones.
Yeah.
Whereas here with the Namibian Defence Force, we do have sort of the more mature players. I'd say they've been in the game for a while. They definitely know what they're doing. But never underestimate the young ones. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, indeed, Diana. You can even see from the team sheet, Correctional Services' oldest player is only 29 years old, and their youngest player is 23. But if you take a look at the Defense Forces, I think their youngest player is only 30 years old, and then their oldest is close to 40. So you can see that age difference between the two teams, and that should definitely take a toll on both teams since they're so widely spread in terms of age.
And we did see that as well when Afrocats were playing Nampol. Nampol was a bit of the more experienced team with the more mature players that have been in the game for a while. And you could really tell that in a way messed around with Afrocats a bit. So they would have moments where they'd be so confident, but the minute they miss a point, that messes with their confidence. I wonder if we are going to see the same thing as well with these two teams, considering their age differences. Is it going to be a thing of, with the young ones, they get a bit shaken up the minute things aren't going in their favor, whereas the more mature players seem to remain calm even under pressure.
Yeah, you know what, Diana? I think sports is very much a mental thing, in as much as it is a physical thing. So I'm sure the old guys will try and get into the heads of the younger guys, by chirping them quite a bit and just trying to make them lose their confidence. But let's just hope that these young guys are strong mentally, in as much as they are as well strong physically. So let's just hope they're not shaken up from the mental aspect of it.
Hey, whatever works to get the points, right?
Yeah, exactly, We're
going to see what tactics these two teams are going to be playing. As you can see right now, not much going on the court. They are just warming up. Oh, and just to give you a quick update as well, over on the women's side, Commerce Nampol also played revivals, but Commerce Nampol, if I'm not mistaken, took the win. I will be back. I speak under correction, but I will be back with the confirmation. But for now, not much happening on your screens, just the two teams warming up, getting into the groove, getting the feel of the court.
Yeah, no doubt. You were talking about the ladies' game earlier. I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at the highlights. I think it was a very interesting game. Both ladies showed up. They brought their A games, no doubt, and I think obviously in the end only one team had to come out on top, and they all did their part and gave us a good game. So let's just hope the upcoming games will just be as entertaining as the others before.
It definitely is. So I think right now they're also just not trying to tire themselves out too much. Really, like I said earlier, just getting a feel of the court, getting a feel of the space, and also maybe even checking how their opponents are playing and their style of play.
Yeah, I'm sure in their heads they must be calculating and trying to anticipate the best spiker or the best jumper, the highest jumper and everything. All those factors come into consideration in the sport, just to see and to calculate every move of the opponent. So I'm sure each and every second that they're spending practicing is going into calculating prospects and trying to see a better way to defeat the opponent in their upcoming game.
We are live on NTV, DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25. Do let us know where you're watching from. We are also live on 102.com, all of Namibia Media Holdings Facebook pages, as well as Namibia Media Holdings YouTube page. You can catch us there live and in color. For those of you that want to grace us with your presence, do feel free. We are at the Windhoek Showgrounds.
Yeah, please do come in your numbers. It's free of entry. There's drinks, there's snacks. Come out, have a good day, enjoy the volleyball, and just come out and hang out with us, And if you are watching at home, do leave us a like or a comment on the socials and just show us the love. And if you do love the sport, just please, be present.
I mean, Taan and I, both being volleyball players, we're definitely tempted to be on the court.
Definitely. Before I came out here today, I was thinking if I should pack my shorts as well. If I could change later for a social game, if there is one after all this.
I totally agree with you. I'm getting antsy sitting here instead of being on the court playing. But hey, we are going to see how everything is going to go. The team there in the green and the yellow, that is Namibia Correctional Service Volleyball Club. Tana, maybe you can just run us through their team sheet.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So, like you said, in the yellow is Namibia Correctional Services, and then number one from their team is Nekanongo Eluid. That's number one. Number two is Nambandi Salomo. Number three, we've got Ekanjo Simon. Number four, we've got Haufiku Eluid, another Eluid on the team. And number five, we've got Paulus Elia. Number six, we've got Philippus Nangolo. Number seven, we've got Chihoto Venjizuva. Number eight, we've got Tuhute John. And number nine, we've got Kandinjera Stephen. Number 10, we've got Likando Anthony. Number 11, we've got Matengu Patrick. Number 12, Sinyemba Gerson. Number 13, Mukungila Costa. Number 14, Mushoko Veri. And finally, our number 15 is Tilenge Ferdinand.
Awesome. We did briefly mention that they are more of the younger players. Now moving over to the Namibian Defence Force, their team list over there. So that's them right there in the blue and the red. That's Namibian Defence Force. Now getting through their team sheet, wearing jersey number 1, that's Ngombe Andreas. With jersey number 2, Shikongo David. With number 12, Shimi Timotheus. With jersey number 5, Erastus Philemon. Ndove Victory with number 6 on the back, Daniel Asser 7. Number 8, Siendi Nyambe. Wearing jersey number 9, Nafenongo Theophilus. With jersey number 10, Negumbo Lotto. 18, Namukomba Vaino. With number 4 on the back is Matthias Abed. Jersey number 16, Kalimbo Gabriel. With jersey number 15, Philemon Shiele. And with jersey number 14, Ngipuilepo Matthew Ndilula. And he is actually one of the youngest on the team, him, Shikongo. But looking at this team sheet currently, it seems as though Erastus Philemon is the youngest on the team at just 26 years old. Team manager for the Namibian Defence Force, that's Andreas Lukolo. The head coach, Petrus Nashongo. Assistant coach, Andreas Egombe. And their doctor is IT Magongo.
Thank you very much for that, Diana. And I also just like to make a small comment on the ages of correctional services as well. Their youngest player being Stephen Kandenjera of 23 years old, and oldest being Nambandi Salomo of 31 years old. So I think the age gap isn't that big, but I think they do have quite the experience, obviously, for the older guys. And the team manager as well, which is Mashau Boyson. And then our head coach is Festus Hamukwaya. I'm sure it took a lot of a lot of time preparing these teams from these two sides, and they're sure to bring us a good game, I would say.
As you can see, both teams are warming up, getting some pep talk in just before the game starts. Some team spirit always goes a long way, because communication is important with the team.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, you can see these guys are just getting each other motivated and everything. They just a couple high fives there in the field as they get ready to start the game of correctional services against defense forces. Yeah, if you are just joining us now, we are live at the Windhoek Showgrounds here in Windhoek
for the 2023 NVF Bank Windhoek Cup. Again, you can catch us live, DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25, 1up2.com, as well as all of Namibia Media Holdings social media pages. You can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, Namibian Sun Sports Wrap. We are live there. Do drop us some comments. Let us know who you think is taking the cup today. And do let us know who you think is going to win this set. Is it this game? Is it going to be Namibian Defence Force? Is it going to be Namibian Correctional Service Volleyball Club? Well, we are just excited as you to find out. The game officially starts with the NDF serving there. Cool, calm and collected, volleying around here. Oh, and then the net violation from the start.
Didn't take long to force an error there, and now I think they just got the advantage, but no points just yet. Defense Forces will serve once more and try and get the point over the advantage now. As he calmly waits, he goes for the overarm, makes it across. Oh, and what a jump and a spike!
Not enough height. With the ball getting caught in the net right there.
That was a good height with the jump there, but unfortunately just came a bit short for them to lose the advantage. And now I think Defense Force would serve again.
That's Ngombe Andreas with the serve. Well received. Was too far. Ball out of the court.
And now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Namibia Defence Force Volley Club would serve again.
Currently leading NDF with 3 points, while NCS 0.
I think Namibian Defence Forces are clearly showing their experience here by just keeping that clean sheet thus far. And whatever it is that they're doing seems to be working. But Correctional Services will take their first serve of the game now, and it goes over. And what a save by Correctional Services, but it was failed to be collected by number 4, by Mr. Haifiku. Eloid failed to collect it on the other end, which allowed the Correctional Services to get that point again.
That's Ndafenongo Theophilus with the serve for NDF.
Indeed.
Well received by Correctional Services. Oh!
And what a block.
What a block.
Namibia Defence Forces. He was taking no questions there. He went straight forward and he got the point for his team. I got the advantage, not the point yet, but Haifiku will take this serve now with hopes of extending their lead and just trying to make it work for the team. Oh.
Beautiful spike there, unfortunately, due to a net violation. Namibian Correctional Services takes that point.
And Mr. Eloid would take the serve again. Goes, unfortunately, just out of bounds. Just missed it by a couple centimeters.
And NDF was smart enough to recognize that, not even trying to get a touch in.
Yeah, from this end, I thought it was in, but then I guess it was just fell short.
Negumbo Lotto with the shot for NDF.
Oh, saves it with the foot, but unfortunately kicks it out of the court. Loses a point, and then now Namibia Defence Force get that point. And now I think they're going to make some subs. The whole team out and a new team in, as the coach gives them a bit of a pep talk after this first quarter, I assume. So I think the other team is just getting a little bit of a warm-up on the side there as they finish their small little pep talk, and I'm sure they will make subs pretty soon on.
NDF in the lead there with the 6 points. Correctional Services not too far behind with 3 points.
It is a close game, I would say. Hey,
still the very first set. Still Negumbo with his second consecutive serve of this game.
And Correctional Services will happily take it, and a
setup.
A beautiful spike by Mr. Simon Akanjo, who just sends it straight to the gutter, allowing Namibia Defence Forces to not capitalize on that. Namibia Correctional Services slowly coming back into this as they just slowly change the gears into it. And then number 11 will serve. That is Mr. Patrick Matengu. A cool and calm serve as Namibia Defence Forces collect. And what a cheeky little spike there. So it goes over the players that had jumped. And Namibia Defence Forces win that point due to a net violation. But they do not win a point yet. They just get the advantage over them. So Namibia Correctional Services have lost the advantage, but they're now allowing Defence Forces to serve. And they do now get the points, as the advantage has now turned into a point. Now it is Namibia Defence Forces still in the lead with 7 points to 4. Namibia Defence Forces will gladly take this serve here with hopes to try and extend their lead further.
Saved it. Nice. Managed to keep the ball in play.
Ooh, with the dire attempt to try and get it over the net, they just... trying to use his feet, but just falls short, unfortunately. And the advantage goes to Namibia Correctional Services, excuse me. And they will gladly take the serve from behind their side.
I will give him that, though. He really did try to keep the ball in play. Unfortunately, it just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, he just came short, unfortunately.
Or received there by Ndafenongo.
And a bit of a fake spike there from the middleman, but then,
Wonderful action there by the net from Erastus and Daniel.
Oh, that was a good back and forth play from them, but then finally Namibia Defence Forces come out with a wicked spike
Powerful
out of nowhere.
strike from Daniel. He really was ready for that one.
He was taking no prisoners there, I tell you. But that just gave Namibia Defence Forces another point, and now they will calmly serve the ball once more. Daniel Asser.
Point for NCS because of a net violation.
Yeah, net violation just allowed them to get that advantage over them and the points. So their number 10, Mr. Likando Anthony, will take a serve. He's first of the game. Does well with the serve as Defence Forces collects. But oh, what a save from the floor. And Namibia Correctional Service still managed to stay in this.
Beautiful, beautiful volleyball we are witnessing right there.
Unfortunately, there was a bit of a miscommunication by Defence Forces, which kind of allowed Correctional Services to get their point over them, where the ball just bounced over one too many times on their side. But Correctional Services will gladly take this one on their side and take the serve once more.
Wasn't enough power there to get it over the net.
Unfortunately, Mr. Anthony's serve just fell a bit short. You wouldn't expect this from him, as he is considered one of the senior players as well. Also one of the heaviest, so he must be able to back that shot up, but unfortunately he just fluffed that serve. Namibia Defence Forces will gladly take theirs now.
Hopefully Erastus has a bit more luck with that serve. Oh, beautiful.
A beautiful spike, but Defence Forces come straight on the defense. They're allowing it not to go into their territory, and therefore getting the point over, or the advantage over Correctional Services. So the advantage still remains with Namibia Defence Forces as they go for their second serve now, as
Erastus still with the serve.
Oh, an attempted diving save comes a bit short, but just ends up lying on the ground.
I do have to say, though, he really paid attention to the lack of, people there. So he managed to serve it right there where there was no one to receive it. Noticed the weakness, struck right there.
That's one thing else you need to be good at the sport, is the accuracy of it all. You just need to be able to peek out weak points, and right there. And what a save from Aluid.
Oh. Wonderful block.
Wonderful
unfortunately.
Block, but yeah, it just goes out of bounds as it touches his hand last, and then allowing Namibia Defence Forces to get the point again. Mr. Erastus with his fourth consecutive serve now, as he keeps getting points on the board for Defence Forces.
Smooth jump serve.
Oh, not so smooth, I'm afraid. He
Too long.
just hits it a bit too long, allowing Correctional Services to get the advantage over Defence Forces, even though they're still behind, but now they've got the advantage. Mr. Ndekanongo Elowed will take his first serve of the game, and he does pretty well. Oh, and what a block, allowing them to get that advantage over Defence Force, and not the point, but just the advantage. So, granted, they do win this advantage, they will get the points. Mr. Nkanjo with his second serve.
Some wonderful setting up there from Ngombe, but unfortunately came with a bit too much of power from the spiker.
Yeah, he just, I think he was a bit mad at the ball there. He just gave it everything he had and then went straight for it, But that just gave Correctional Services 2 points, still behind Defence Force with 13 points. My bad, Correctional Services with 10 points, not 9. So Mr.
Dakenongo again with the serve.
Yeah, well, his third consecutive one now of the game.
And he's quite a young one.
He is. Youngest on the team actually. Just 21 years of age. Or 22 now. His birthday was last month, so youngest on the team, hasn't fluffed a serve yet. I think his future in the sport is quite bright.
Tawana, I will give you a fun fact. Mr. Ndakenongo and I actually share a birthday.
Wow, that is amazing. It's crazy how you can find all your birthday mates on the job, eh?
It is ridiculous. NDF still in the lead with 13 points. They have the serve. It's Mr. Ngombe and Andreas again with that serve. Not enough power to get it over the net. You know, he can't really afford to be making such mistakes because as we're seeing, there's a lot of energy already going on in this first set.
Yeah, Diana, I agree with you. At this stage of the game, you can't afford to be making such errors, They've come this far. And it's just the small things that matter the most. And if they can't execute the simple things, then it's not looking too good for them. But a simple serve from Nambandi Salomo. My apologies.
Some wisdom there from NDF to realize that it was going to be out of bounds. Not even attempting to touch it.
Fortunately, Mr. Nambandi's first serve just loses them the advantage. And now the advantage goes over to Defense Force as they take the serve again.
Dafanongo Theophilus with that serve. Wonderful net action there from Namibian Correctional Services. They're really paying attention to all the action, realizing that it's crucial for them to block before it even gets over.
Indeed. At least they do realize that discipline matters the most. I can see they tried to stay clear of the net as he was going for that block. Unfortunately, Mr. Haufiku just doesn't manage to get it all the way as it goes over bounds and gives Namibia Defense Force the advantage over them. So Namibia Defense Force will gladly serve this one to them.
Negumbo with that serve. Oh!
And a beautiful spike.
Missing that one.
Beautiful spike by Mr. Simon Akanjo as he just sends that runner home and tries to get more points on the board for his team. An interesting formation that Correctional Services have with the 3 up in front, in the middle, and the 2 lying there in the back. Let's just hope they are aware of their strategy and it works out for the best. Okay, he sends 2 into the slumps, but then doesn't really happen much. But yeah, a little bit of a back and forth action going on at the moment. It's quite interesting to see. So there are the scores for you, ladies and gentlemen. Namibia Defense Force with 17, Namibia Correctional Services with 13. A very interesting game here. A lot of back and forth action going on. But unfortunately, that spike just goes out of bounds, almost hitting us here on this side, Diana.
NDF still in the lead, 17 points. Namibian Correctional Services not too far behind with 13 points. Well, yes, 13 points. NDF in the lead with 18. Just a 6-point difference. Plenty of time for Namibian Correctional Services to catch up. But if NDF keeps at the pace that they are, it looks like they're going to have this set in the bag.
It's a bit too soon to say. I think Namibia Correctional Services are still in this. It's not a wide point gap, I would say. A whole lot on the line for 2 teams, I would say. These guys are putting everything on the line, taking no...
Too far out.
But unfortunately, Namibia Correctional Services thought the point was theirs, but I think there was a net violation, which allowed Defense Forces to get the advantage over them. If I'm not mistaken, the call was reaching over the net by Correctional Services. So Namibia Defense Forces would gladly take the serve from them now.
Namukoba with that serve there. Oh! Beautiful Beautiful, beautiful work there. Namibian Correctional Services really looking at the court, seeing where there's no one to receive the ball.
Yeah, I think he just saw that gap then he went straight for it. He didn't even second guess it, he just went for it.
I think one thing we're noticing from both teams is they are very aware.
The perception that these two teams have is pretty incredible, I would say. I think they are quite evenly matched, in my opinion. It's just I think the experience of Namibia Defence Force has allowed them to have the edge in terms of the points. But Namibia Correctional Services definitely still have a chance at...
not enough height for that spike to go over, with the ball getting caught in the net, giving NDF an extra point. So now the scores are at 20 and 14 in favor of NDF.
NDF will gladly take the serve again as Correctional Services receive this. And a little bit of a cheeky spike there by Correctional Services, just allowing them to get the advantage. And at the advantage and the point. Lucky. So Correctional Services will take the serve again.
Well received there by Matthias Abid.
I must say it's very inspirational that every other point they go into a little huddle, they quickly discuss, and then they reform. There's always enough time for like a quick discussion and just to regroup and get the boys back, get their heads back in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Too far out. That just cost NDF a point. But that definitely has the Namibian Correctional Services celebrating.
Yeah, I mean, victory to them is a loss on the other side. So I think on every other point and every other mistake that they make, it's definitely a good help for them. And as Mr. Kanongo tries to go for a second serve, but unfortunately comes a bit short and just goes out of bounds, and then gives Namibia Defence Forces the advantage over Correctional Services once more.
NDF are ready for that serve.
NDF just getting ready, and then it just goes over. Beautiful serve with a dummy spike there. And a powerful spike, allowing them to get that point. I think Namibia Defence Forces are getting a bit angry here. They're not taking any...
They're not taking any chances, and they're definitely not leaving anything on the table. I mean, like we're seeing now, Tana, we are getting quite close. It could still go in anyone's favor, but right now I think NDF are feeling a little confident. Hopefully not too confident, because we saw again in the last game teams were getting a bit overconfident and then relaxing, dropping the ball at the most crucial points.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe in most cases for most teams, they might have this as a strategy, to give other teams the edge in the beginning of the game, but then as soon as the game goes on, they start to just punish them with different strategies and surprise them with different tactics as well. So let's just hope Namibia Defence Forces aren't caught lacking in that department, and they keep their awareness up, keep getting points on the board, and I'm sure they should just cruise to victory.
NDF still leading 22 points. Namibian Correctional Services not too far behind with 15.
A very close game, I would say. Oh, Namibia Defence Force is just caught sleeping. The ball just bounces with no one there to collect it. Good awareness by Correctional Services to notice that space there and go for it. And Mr. Nangolo will take his serve.
It is match point for NDF. Are they going to secure it? Let's see.
I think Correctional Services have to do everything that they can now not to mess up and give Defence Forces the edge now. And a beautiful spike by Mr. Haifuku Eluid as he just sends that one home in every attempt to try and catch Defence Forces in their pursuit to victory here.
Called for a timeout there just to give NDF a bit of a pep talk. not to let that get to them. I mean, they are 1 point away from securing the set, but Namibian Correctional Services is also hot on their heels. I don't think they want to let this one slip so easily away from them, knowing they're so close, yet so far away.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They're not going to let Defense Forces have this one quite easy. They're going to make them fight for it, no doubt. And Namibia Defense Force is just going for a whole team sub as they just take out everyone, and everyone has been replaced by new legs, fresh legs, in order just to secure that game point.
Ball received there by Ndafenongo. Oh, Ndafenongo going for the spike, but just falling short with the ball getting caught in the net, earning Namibian Correctional Services their point.
Indeed. I tell you what, Namibia Defense Forces can't keep making these sort of mistakes. Also, keep pushing the game point and make it easier for Correctional Services just to come in on them.
Seems there was a bit of miscommunication there.
There was a bit of panic in the team there, but luckily, Mr. Elwood was smart enough to get it.
NDF securing that first set.
Yeah, they did definitely try their best to narrow the gap. I mean, at one point it was 15 to 24, and now it has just ended 20 to 24 in Defense Forces' favor. And now a little bit of a switcheroo, swap sides by both teams.
NDF securing that first set. They have it in the bag. Namibian Correctional Services just fell short of 5 points. Like I did say, so close, yet so far away. NDF was getting a bit angry there, but they did manage to secure that one.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They kept their composure, they kept their heads, and they managed to persevere through it. These are just the replays of what happened earlier. The boys warming up here, getting ready for the game, and the serves. Just enjoy the replays and the highlights as we move on and wait for the second half of this game, or the second.
Some replay action there from that first set. We're seeing a lot of action, like the game was definitely exciting from the get-go. No team being relaxed, everyone was on their heels from the get-go, realizing how serious it is from the start.
Yeah, I think Correctional Services were a bit late to this game, hey? They were punished by Defense Forces in terms of them catching them out in the beginning of the game, which allowed them to get points on the board as early as possible. And obviously, I think that's what allowed them to cruise through to the rest of the game. I think it only happened towards the end of the game when they started playing better volleyball and narrowed the difference. But unfortunately, they came short in the end with a narrow 20 to 24 point loss. So just that 4-point loss would have made much of a difference if they were much more alert in the first half. But not to worry about. They've got one more game to redeem themselves. Granted, they do win, it will be pushed to a third game. But if Defense Forces get the edge again, then that would be game over for Correctional Services.
Both teams are ready there for that second set. we did see, some pep talk going on for both teams. I would assume coaches were telling NDF not to get too relaxed. And of course, NCS coach, I would assume, was telling them not to get too discouraged because, it's only one set in. We have 4 more sets to go. They have plenty of time to redeem themselves. But there has been a lot of action from this game. So we're going to see how that's going to go. Getting ready to start the second set now.
Correctional Services. Mr. Simon Ekanja will start proceedings here. Oh, points on the board so early by Correctional Services, as that serve has no one to collect on the other end. Quite shocking by Defence Force, as they were just caught sleeping. Interesting formation from Correctional Services here.
There was a touch there.
Good stuff by Correctional Services, allowing them to get that point there.
Still Akanjo Simon with the serve. He started the set and he continues. It is his 3rd consecutive serve of the set.
Yeah, he's done really well, I tell you. I mean, this is only his 2nd one and or his 3rd one. And with the other 2, he's managed to get points on the board for his team. Oh, just coming short.
And CS unable to save that one.
Yeah, they just played a bit over out of bounds, which brings Mr. Simon Akanja's serving days to a halt.
Ngombe Andreas with that serve. Boom!
Oh, what a
wonderful
save
strike
by Namibia Defence Forces. Really unexpected, I would say, as that ball came straight to him. But he, he did his job, got the ball out, and fortunately didn't concede a point for his team. Oh, he did, but yeah. Number 9 from Correctional Services, Mr. Steven, will gladly take the serve. Correctional Services will just play this one around. An attempt at a spike, which goes well for them, as there was a net violation, which gives them the point over Defence Forces.
It seems there was 2 touches as well from one player, looking at the ref there.
A bit of a stank eye from the other teammate. Anyway, Namibia Correctional Service still having that 1-point lead over Defence Forces, which is an unsafe lead, as now they've just got that point back.
From that, because of that wonderful strike from Namukomba, he actually managed to, he was really paying attention to where there was no one.
And he managed to level the scores for his team. Oh, and wonderful stuff by Correctional Services as they hop just in front of Defence Forces in terms of leadings. So now the serve and the advantage goes back to Correctional Services as they now restart the game. And to serve here is Mr. Venjizuva Chihoto, and he does pretty well with his first serve of the game. And, a whole lot of back and forth here, which is really good. Entertaining volleyball, I'd say.
Beautiful block there. NDF was denied, but they managed to keep the ball in play.
Oh, and what a diving save by NDF. And they managed to keep it in place somehow. This is such amazing volleyball, I tell you.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful volleyball we're witnessing. NDF taking that point after that back and forth.
That was some good volleyball. You had players diving all over the place, laying it down all for the team, which is really lovely to see them coming out and showing up and just doing the best they can to assure victory for their teams. But Mr. Venjizuva will then take the serve again. No problem for him.
Wonderful spike there from Daniel Asser, number 7 from Namibia Defence Force.
Namibia Defence Force just getting the edge over Correctional Services. The advantage is in their favor. So granted they win this point here, they will also win a point.
Negumbo with the serve, just out of bounds, earning NCS a point. Scores are tied at 5-all. NCS taking that serve.
I don't think Correctional Services are keen on losing out to Namibia Defence Forces. They're trying to stay as close as possible as they can to them and not create that wide point gap.
There was definitely a net violation there. That was pretty hard to miss.
Yeah, I think he got a bit too overexcited with that jump there, and then he forgot the net was in his way and just unfortunately ended up losing it for his team. But yeah, Correctional Services will gladly take this serve. Goes over, no problem. Defense Forces will collect.
Wonderful
Attempted spike, but just gets blocked there by Correctional Services. Oh, and that dive going in vain as he doesn't manage to save it. But he laid it all down for his team there. Good on him.
NDF waiting for the ball there so they can serve. All right, there we go.
Namibia Defence Forces.
Now Mukomba Vino with that serve. I mean, he was the one that had the 2 consecutive strikes and actually managed to secure that last point for the team.
But Correctional NCS just getting straight back into this by getting the points on the board. Easy serve by NCS. An easy block by NCS as well, which then allows the Defence Forces the advantage over them, as that ball just goes out of bounds after the spike, after the attempted spike. So NCS currently leading proceedings here with scores at 8-6 in favor of NCS.
Daniel Asser with that serve. Namibian Correctional Services working hard to keep the ball in play, but in so doing, a little too much power and getting the ball out of bounds or winning the point for NDF. It is a tightly contested match, hey Tawana?
Seems to me that NCS are getting a bit too excited there with their spikes. They're losing all control of the ball and its trajectory.
Well received there. Ah!
Oh, and a much better spike now, which allows NCS 1 point over NDF. I would say, judging from their last spike, this one was executed much better than the other one.
NCS now taking the lead with 9 points. NDF following closely behind, hot on their heels. 7 points, 8 points now to 9.
Job well done by NDF. They are not allowing NCS to go any further than them. They're just keeping that competition well and alive here.
Rastus Philemon from NDF getting ready for that serve. Whoa! What a spike!
Caught NDF sleeping there. None of those players were expecting that spike to come so hot and so low like that. But then that has allowed NCS to get more points on the board, giving them a 2-point lead over NDF.
Oh.
But unfortunately, Mr. Simon Akanjo just falls short as that ball fails to cross over the net and just hits the net and bounces back on their side, giving NDF the advantage
that they so badly need right now.
Yeah, closely contested match, I would say.
And a point goes to NDF because it seems NCS had 4 touches there.
It's a bit unfortunate that at this stage of the game they do not have any reserves. I remember when I played this back in school, we had some sort of exception if the ball had a bad serve or something, but clearly it's a good serve or nothing in this case, at this stage of the game. And another point for NCS.
And so trying to block NDF managed to get themselves not a point, but a net violation, lost the point. Wonderful serving, setting
and a
there.
Good spike there.
Oh.
And now NDF have managed to equalize things here and made it 11-11. With the points tied like this definitely raises the tempo of the game. It would definitely make these two teams nervous, especially NCS. They had been leading majority of this game, but now the deficit has been reduced.
Wonderful, wonderful from number 10 there, Mr. Negumbo. Noticing the gap and hitting it right there, securing NDF their 12th point. Everyone is doing the best that they can in this game. Coaches have called for a timeout there.
Yeah, just a little bit of a short discussion on tactics and strategies there. And as the boys get some water, get some refreshments, just to stay hydrated and to reduce their risk of injury. At this stage of the game, you can't afford any injuries. So.
Definitely not. There's some replay. Oh, wonderful setting there from NCS. This was one of the most interesting moments. I mean, they did their best to keep the ball in play. Wonderful reception there from NDF. Net violation, unfortunately, cost them the point.
Couple of good calls this far by the umpires. They've been doing a good job at keeping this match at bay. And we are back to the match with NCS getting the point, and NDF now slowly cruising back into winning ways as they now get the edge over NCS.
NDF with their serve. Unfortunately, lack of communication cost NCS that point. It seems there was a bit of confusion as to who was supposed to take that point.
There was. They did not clearly discuss about reception now, so which causes them now to lose the points, allowing NDF a 3-point advantage over NCS.
Fans getting a bit antsy there on the benches.
They do well to get rid of it on their half. But no one covering there. I think Mr. Aloed Ndakanongo was supposed to collect that, but unfortunately he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But allowing Tawana, they can't really afford to be making such mistakes. Lack of communication at this point in the game is almost unacceptable.
Yeah, definitely. And players with such experience, you'd expect them, to be much more vocal and open in terms of communication. But I guess there seems to be some sort of breakdown in terms of communication, which isn't good.
NDF getting super excited there because that was a wonderful spike. And he managed to spike it just within the court, earning them their 16th point. NDF still in the lead, 16 points. NCS not too far behind with 11 points.
Yeah, I tell you what, Diana, I don't think NCS can afford to be caught napping now at this stage, because it's really getting to that point where they're getting closer to the game point. So they should pull up their socks and try and narrow that point difference.
NDF coming in with those spikes. They are really feeling excited now, I would say. Feeling a lot more confident in the second set.
Yeah, no doubts about that. I think they found their gear and now they're just in cruise control. Taking control of the game and getting points on the board is what they're doing so good.
NCS still trying, though, to not let that discourage them a little too much, doing everything that they can. But
unfortunately, a bit of a net violation there by NDF. Oh no, my apologies. Net violation by NCS, which allows NDF another point on the board. With a 7-point difference, they really need to start pulling up their socks, because NDF definitely brought their game faces today. They're not taking anything away from the perseverance NCS has, but clearly they're outshining them with their experience.
Ndafenongo with the serve there. Well received by NCS. Nice save. Wonderful block from NCS, but unfortunately, because that was a touch, the point goes to NDF. There was no one there to rescue the ball after that touch from NCS. NDF in the lead with 20 points. They're definitely feeling extremely confident and extremely happy. Probably may have spoken too soon, but again, with the excitement, maybe that got to his head. Ball was out of bounds.
Yeah, NDF just need to watch out here, not get too overzealous and too comfortable, because NCS are also quite deadly when it comes to the serve, so they could just be caught napping and lose their lead, which is what they don't want.
Whoa, beautiful work, beautiful teamwork there from NDF. NCS trying to save that with the foot. Fortunately, that just gave the ball a little more trajectory, but no one there to save it after that.
NDF just clearly beating them up, not beating them up, my apologies, but beating them at execution here, as most of their systems seem to be working pretty well. Oh, and NDF just trying to save it with the foot, but coming a bit short, allowing NCS to get that point over them. It's a good thing NCS aren't giving up just yet. They're still in this. We can't write them off yet, even though NDF are close to the game point.
Mr. Nambandi there with the serve for NCS. Beautiful,
Whoa.
Beautiful work. Beautiful by Ndafenongo Theophilus, noticing the gap, not even attempting to spike the ball, but really just volleying it over. That was beautiful.
Just laying it up in that empty space. I think he caught Mr. Anthony Likando sleeping there as he sent him the wrong way.
Namukomba with the serve for NDF.
Oh, choice to use his feet.
Oh, beautiful one-handed volley there. I think NCS is starting to get a little anxious, and it is starting to show in their gameplay. It is really starting to show because the anxiety is getting to them. So now they're making unnecessary mistakes that are costing them points.
Yeah, a 10-point lead here for NDF as they get the serve once more. And seems like they're really comfortable on their serves, I would say.
Definitely.
And a good save by NCS to make sure that doesn't go out of bounds.
Oh, number 11 not getting there in time to save the ball. Again, a miscommunication there. There was emptiness in the court. And at this point, they really should be taking more notice of their court space and making use of that court space, because NDF certainly is making use of the court space by hitting the balls right where there's no one. NDF securing their second set, 25 points to 13.
NDF, I'm very ecstatic for the win there, as you see a couple celebrations and dances there in the crowd as well. Mm-hmm. You can see how proud they are of Namibia Defence Force as they win the second game now of the tie between them and NCS. But the overall match winner for today would be Namibia Defence Forces. Congratulations to Namibia Defence Force for that edging win against NCS. It wasn't easy for NCS, but they still tried to push. They persevered, but unfortunately came short towards the end, allowing NDF to get the win over them.
It just wasn't enough. All right, now NDF with that 2-set lead. We will be taking a quick ad break as the teams get ready for the third set.
Cheers.
For those of you that are just joining us, we are live at the Winter Showgrounds for the 2023 NVF Bank Winter Cup. It's Namibian Defence Force taking on Namibian Correctional Services, NDF, with a 2-set lead over NCS. NCS really starting to feel the heat and the pressure. We definitely saw that a lot more in that second set. First set was very tightly contested, but it seems with the second set, NCS was starting to lose confidence and making unnecessary mistakes that cost them that second set.
Yeah, and a bit of pep talk now here from the coaches. NCS desperately need to get back into this and try and hopefully work some magic in that aspect and not allow NDF to get that dub over them.
You can catch this game live at DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25, 1up2.com, as well as all of Namibia Media Holdings social media pages. That's Namibian Sun, Sports Rap, all of our social media pages on YouTube. That's Namibia Media Holdings. Taking a look at some replay there from that second set, some excitement from NDF, their fans as well, giving them all the support that they need.
Yeah, the fans really showed up in numbers today. I should say I'm pretty impressed by the turnout today, and it's definitely not a quiet one, which is good, giving all the boys the necessary confidence they need by hearing their fans screaming from the sidelines. Here are a couple of replays from the game earlier. You can see how NDF dominated against NCS. All their points, all the unsuccessful serves from NCS. And I think, NDF were more crucial, more clinical with the serves and the spikes, definitely. They got most of their points from that. But we're about to kick off
that third set. Hopefully that pep talk did something for NCS, because we could see them that in the second set, really due to the frustration, lack of communication, that was definitely costing them the game. Meanwhile, making NDF a lot more confident, giving them that confidence that they needed. We're seeing powerful strikes, spikes, desperation from NCS as they were trying to save the ball with their feet, hands getting just one touch in. There was some desperation there. All right, getting ready to kick off that third set. Some action there from the women's side. All right. You can hear some team spirit there, as NDF are definitely happy but not relaxed. Because you can see even the coach is not all smiles. I think he realizes how easily it is to get carried away, get excited, and let your guard down.
Yeah, I know, no doubt about that. And NDF just getting things started here with 1 point on the board early on, and make it 2 points now with a small little lob ball over all the other players in front into the empty space.
Some backcourt action there. Noticing there was some space. That was a well-calculated move because a little more power and was going to be out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. NCS getting their points on the board now with a cheeky little spike that allowed them the points over NDF.
NCS taking that serve. Net violation there, earning NCS a point advantage against NDF.
NCS will gladly serve this.
Beautiful. Had they just let that one go, they were going to get the point, but unfortunately, in so trying to save the ball, they got a touch in. Ref called it, and the point is for NDF. Scores are tied at 2-all.
Well, with the scores tied now, this makes it more interesting. Or not tied anymore. I think NDF just got that last point. But it's still a very narrow lead for Defense Force. They better not lose it now at this stage. Even though it's still early on, but it's just good that they stay within close reach of one another.
We are seeing some fine volleyball here. That was Mr. Ekanja trying to get a spike in, but just falling short, ball getting caught in the net. It was going to be a beautiful one had he managed to get it over. Ndafenongo Theophilus there with the serve for NDF. Beautiful jump serve. NDF in the lead of 5 points. NCS not too far behind, 2 points. NDF really has the confidence that they need. The aim is to not get cocky though and just maintain the game.
NDF just getting the serves ready here. Oh, NCS, I apologize. Cheeky little placement
here. NDF definitely feeling the volleyball now. We are witnessing some beautiful volleyball. NCS seeming to be a little frazzled. It's really starting to get to the team now because you can definitely see the frustration on their faces and in the way they're playing. They're playing using some desperation tactics there. Wonderful, wonderful spike from Mr. Namukomba right there.
Yeah, Mr. Namukonda did a very wonderful job there to get points for his team.
NCS with that serve managed to secure themselves a point. Well received by NDF. NDF not letting their guard down. Unfortunately, that wasn't good enough to secure them the point. NCS taking that point. A bit of a dispute there. Referee just clearing up the air with NCS. NDF, though, still in the lead, 8 points. NCS not too far behind with 5 points. Philippus Nangolo with that serve. No one there to receive it from NDF. Ill reception, earning NCS another point, closing that gap. It's just 2 points away. Philippus with his second consecutive serve, jump serve. Whoa! Beautiful spike there from my apologies, a beautiful spike there from NDF. NDF with the serve. Hoping to secure a win with that serve. Beautiful jump serve, not too much power, just enough to get it over. Nice save there from NCS. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough, giving NDF another point.
Yeah, NDF seem very comfortable in the points department here. Not shy at all. With only just a 4-point difference in their points, it still makes it very interesting to see. And NCS definitely not giving up quite easy here. They're definitely taking all their scrubs and not allowing any room for error. No room for error is actually permissible at all. As you know, once the points take off, you could lose your advantage over the other team. So the strategy of the game here is to try and keep the points as narrow as possible and not allow a big deficit here. But NCS here just taking the serve again. And yeah, as Mr. Haufiku.
Trying to get that spike over. Unfortunately, ball getting caught in the net there. Not enough height, or rather, you know, the direction in which he hit let him down there.
Yeah, but giving NCS the advantage here. Now it's 8 points to 10, as you can see. Mr. Haifiku once more with the serve. And a smart leave by Mr. Haifiku, allowing them more points on the board. And just that 1 point deficit. From a 4-point deficit now to 1 point. And timeout has been called. And you can even hear the crowd chanting loudly, NDF. That's Namibia Defence Forces, you lady. Namibia Defence Force Volley Club for you ladies and gentlemen. They came in their numbers.
You can hear the fans getting excited there. There's some footage live from the bench. NDF getting the support that they need. NCS is just 1 point behind NDF. However, with a 2-set lead, NCS definitely needs to get this set in the bag.
Yeah, and as NCS, Mr. Ifiku once more with the serve. Calmly takes this one and it goes over. And a wicked spike. But every attempt to try and save it over the line, that one attempt goes in vain, unfortunately.
NDF getting ready for that serve. Mr. Daniel Asser there. Beautiful jump serve. Unfortunately, that set was a setup for failure. It wasn't too great.
Bit of a cheeky strategy there by NCS, but getting the better of NDF, getting the point. Must say it was smart, or the other way around actually. NDF getting the point and the advantage over NCS.
Beautiful reception. Whoa!
Thunderous. That was outrageous. An outrageous spike by NCS, allowing them to get that point over NDF.
NCS not too far behind NDF, just 2 points behind. They have the serve now.
Let's not forget that 2 points can be too many, you know. We can never. It might be so narrow, but it can make a difference towards the end. You know, doesn't push the game point at all. So let's just hope NCS can keep getting points on the board and keep this interesting for us.
NDF seems to really be taking notice of court space.
Yeah, it looks like NDF are definitely playing with their eyes and their heads here. And
wonderful net work there. And the point goes to
NCS, if I'm not, or NDF. Sorry, NDF still have that's 1 point, because I'm sure there was a net violation there in that attempt to try and block it.
Oh, unfortunately, no one there to receive it for NDF. NCS noticing that gap and going straight for it, not even doubting that a little bit, earning them that point.
I think NCS will gladly take this serve here from the back, and
there was some touch there, giving NDF another point advantage over NCS. NCS really starting to feel the pressure there. Really starting to feel the frustration.
NDF going for the serve here with no problems at all.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful spike there by Mr. Matengu.
Yeah, Mr. Patrick Matengu, wonderful spike, getting points on the board for his team. And with the serve here, we've got Mr. Simon Akanju, which unfortunately, serve was a bit too much, allowing NDF the advantage and the points.
And you know, I think I realized what NCS was trying to do. They noticed that there wasn't too much action going on at the back of the court, wanted to aim there. Unfortunately, gave it too much power. The ball went out of bounds. Beautiful block, unfortunately earning NCS a point.
NDF will have the serve once more. And now with the 4-point lead, they'll definitely play this one around. NDF a bit of a back and forth situation.
Wonderful spike there. Noticing the gap and going straight for it. Beautiful volleyball there from NDF, leaving NCS a little frazzled.
NDF just with a really nice serve there, being collected by NCS. And a good serve. Good serve and good play by both teams, but NCS just getting the advantage over NDF now. And Mr. Philippus Nangolo will definitely serve once more. Oh, and what a save by NDF. All celebrations and good vibes from NDF here, as they now go 6 clear from the opposition.
NDF with that serve there. That's Namukomba.
It is without a doubt Defense Forces are the favorites to win here.
Whoa!
And I'm sure they're pretty comfortable with their lead. But
there was some net violation there, which cost NDF the point. So now NCS with the serve. They're not too far behind, just 5 points behind. They could still definitely catch up. It's too early to call a winner or anything like that. Both teams definitely putting their all, giving it their all.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Mr. Steven there with the serve, but just allowing NDF to get the edge over NCS now. With the scores at 15-21, I think it's safe to call a winner, but I don't want to speak too soon. I'll just let the volleyball do the speaking. Oh, and what a spike by NCS, allowing them 1 more point over NDF. So the gap doesn't keep getting wider and wider, it just keeps getting narrower and narrower. And if they keep getting points on the board, they might just catch up right in time for them to snatch a victory from NDF.
NCS with the serve. Not giving it enough power to get it over the net. At this point in the game, such mistakes could mean that they lose the set and give NDF their 3rd set.
Ooh, and ice in the NDF's player's veins as he takes his serve here. Successful serve in the end, and what a block. Oh, and
NCS coach getting nervous there.
Yeah, it is very close to the game point with NDF at 23 points and NCS at 16.
Whoa. That was a powerful, powerful spike. NDF trying to save it. Unfortunately, the save wasn't good enough.
Yeah, but in my opinion, he still did a good job, though. Even though he managed to get the point, I feel like there's not much he could have done there in that position that he was in. NDF not allowing any room for mistakes here, as they keep cruising towards the victory that they have here intact. Okay, just a couple pep talks here from the coaches to the players.
NCS coach giving them some pep talk there, trying to give them some motivation. The team does seem a little dejected though. Meanwhile, NDF is really raging with the power there. You can see the contrast in the two teams, in their demeanor.
No doubt about that. And as NCS go for the serve, comfortably taken by Mr. Steven. Oh, and I think
NCS slowly catching up there, slowly but surely. NDF just 2 points away from getting the set in the bag, but NCS hot on their heels.
Yeah, I think it is just quite intense for them both at the moment. But NDF, as expected.
Wonderful spike by Mr. Shikongo David. No one there from NCS to receive it.
Will NICS manage to push the game point and catch up to NDF?
Ngombe with that serve, just a point away from securing the set, and he made such a rookie mistake, ball getting caught in the net. Wonderful block. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Securing NDF their third set, 3 sets in the bag.
And like I said, the experience size of NDF just allowed them to get that win over NCS. You would have expected a very close and fair game, but NDF definitely came out to play their best volleyball, and they've shown us and NICS how to play the sport.
NDF already celebrating as though they have won the match. It was a beautiful shot there. I would say maybe that child is their lucky charm, maybe?
No doubt about that. And just a couple of handshakes across the field. And as we bring this game to a close, I just want to thank both teams and just say, thank you for bringing out the lekker gees, as people would say in Afrikaans, the good game. And we both enjoyed it. I think you people watching at home and the people out in the stands enjoyed this game.
NDF and their supporters. I would definitely say the supporters played a very important role in helping NDF secure that win, definitely giving them the moral support that they needed. Namibia Correctional Services are feeling dejected there. NDF definitely excited. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
So now, just some instant replays from this last set, the winning set that secured NDF their win. Some crucial mistakes there, especially like the one that you just saw, Mr. Ngipuilepo letting the ball down there, trying to save it with his foot. Unfortunately, the save wasn't enough. NCS were starting to feel the pressure, definitely. Most of their moves came with a bit of panic, miscalculated, I guess, a little. They were becoming really desperate, really desperate, which was showing in the way they were playing, because they were playing recklessly, making mistakes that cost them the set. Still well played though. They really did try their best. But unfortunately, their best wasn't enough. We did witness some beautiful volleyball, wouldn't you say, Tawana?
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think it was quite competitive from the start. NCS just losing focus a couple of times, allowing NDF to get the advantage in terms of the points, and escaping by narrow margins. But I would say it was a very interesting game. No question about that.
There were moments they really tried to keep the ball, but like you saw there, NDF taking advantage of the backcourt, seeing that there's no one there, hitting NCS right where it hurts. It was a beautiful game, I would definitely say.
Yeah, NCS won't be proud of themselves after losing such a game. I mean, all 3 games that they played, they were very close. No
very
game had a wide deficit, which is good, which shows competition between these 2 teams. But the experienced side came out on top, and that says a lot, obviously, about where they come from and how long they've been in the sport, their discipline, and their skills as well.
But I mean, some of these mistakes that cost them, for example, not setting the ball high enough and spiking it right into the net, serves getting caught in the net, such mistakes really cost them. There was that scene that I was talking about, them holding up that child. I'm pretty sure that he's their lucky charm. That's why the team was very excited. NDF fans excited as well.
Yeah.
So now for the finals, we are going to see Nampol and NDF going head to head. What is your take on this? Please do comment in our comment section. Let us know who you think is going to take the cup home, and let us know where you're watching from. For those of you that are just joining us, whether it be live, in color, in person, whatever it is, you can catch us on your screens. DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25 on NTV, 102.com, all of Namibia Media Holdings social media pages. That is Namibian Sun, Republican, Sports Rap, all the aforementioned platforms. If YouTube is more your thing, we're also live there under Namibia Media Holdings. That is it for NDF and NCS. NDF winning the game 3-0.